Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Planes, Trains, and Comic Books channel. My name's Matt, and today we're going to review Phantasmagoria #1. But before we get into that, if you guys wouldn't mind sharing, subscribing, commenting, it really helps me out and lets me know what you guys want to see more of. So, with that being said, let's get straight into it. All right, we got the cover here for Phantasmagoria #1. It is a Scout Black Caravan comic, and it is by El Torres and Joe Picardo. And we start off in Victorian London, inside of a big mansion where a bunch of people have been massacred. And from the symbols on the wall and some of the other paraphernalia around, we see that this was definitely some kind of supernatural ritual going on. Then we cut to a woman outside who is running. She is asking for help because someone is stalking her. And she finds this couple, and they begin to try to help her. But when the stalker approaches, he calmly tells them to stand aside, and he puts up his hand and proceeds to pull some sort of specter out of this girl. And it turns out this man is someone named Professor Hawk, who deals with paranormal stuff, and he's able to pull the specter out of the girl and save her life. So he brings the girl home, and when she wakes up, she's a bit confused why she's here. But as she talks to Professor Hawk, she begins to remember more from the night before, and all of a sudden, flashes of the massacre come back to her mind, and she sees that one of the men killed last night by the possessed version of her was her husband, William. And up until this point, she was hoping that this was completely a dream. So the professor tries to comfort her, and they talk a little more, and we find out that the specter was not destroyed. It was just released from her, and he's still trying to find it before it can kill any more people. And then we cut to a little girl's room where a girl is playing with her doll, and as she begins to hug it and say, "I love you," we see that it says back to her, "I love you too, mommy." And that's where we're going to stop it. I don't want to spoil anything else. So this being the Halloween season and all, I figured I'd check out some of these Scout comic horror books that have been coming out the last couple months. And this is the first one that caught my interest. The cover and the name really got my attention. And then instantly, with all that gore and everything on the first couple pages, I figured this was a good one to check out. I think El Torres did a good job with the writing. I don't think I've ever read anything by them, but it flowed pretty well. And with it being set in Victorian England, that could be kind of hard sometimes. But I thought he did a pretty good job overall. There's definitely a lot of good horror in it and suspense buildup. I will say the middle of the comic has a little bit of downtime while it's trying to build the characters and the world. But I can see how some people might not like that and think it's too slow. I personally didn't have a problem with it. They revealed enough in each scene to make me feel like the story was moving. The art in this book by Joe Picardo is really good. There's definitely like a rough scratchiness to it, but I think that kind of adds to the feel of the book. Everything kind of feels gritty and dirty. And he really shines in that big murder scene at the beginning, and also with the creepiness of that doll. And the rest of the stuff in the comic where people are talking or just going around town was really good as well. So I'm going to give this one a 3.5 out of 5. I think it's really good setup for this horror series. I think the only hindrance to this book is that some people might not like the pacing of it. Like I said, there was a little bit of downtime in the middle. But if you enjoy things like Sherlock Holmes or detective stories, it feels like that kind of pacing. So if you saw anything you like, definitely go pick that up at your local comic book store, and we will see you all in the next one.